Hi everyone, I'm back with Tell Me Your Story. And as I previously said, I indicated that I would go and visit the TSHAD Center in Tembisa, which is exactly what I've done. And we had a wonderful time with Brian and all the people that are working there. But instead of me telling you more about the TSHAD Center, I think I'm going to hand over to Brian and let's hear what Brian has to tell you about TSHAD. So Brian, I'm visiting you today here at the TSHAD Center. But what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to introduce yourself, tell me a little bit more about yourself. Who are you? Why are you here? What are you doing? How did you arrive at this place in your life? So it's over to you.
Thanks. Big question that you're asking. My name is Brian Gezani Ndhlovu. I was born here in Tembisa. I schooled here, then I left for exile. But I come from a family where we were more caring. Back in the days, we even had gangsters, People will run and scream because they're being attacked, and my father will actually go out armed to go and save that particular person. So we'll actually provide shelter overnight for the person to sleep. So we also had a policy that said whoever comes into the house must be fed, right? So anybody. So it was more of an open door kind of a policy. It didn't affect us because for us as kids, we just grew up in that environment. But later we learned that actually our parents come from exactly the same environment where they were more royalty, so they receive different people and stuff like that. So in a township with the politics, the school and other things, then we gradually influenced as well to, get involved. So we're still very young when we got involved in politics. I started participating when I was very young. I can't even remember the year. So we started by throwing stones, they used to call us stephoyers and stuff like that against the police. So that actually grew in us. That we ended up, the three of us, myself, my brother and my sister, and landing in Angola, well, at different times. I went out first, they found me there, I was very shocked. And the first question is, where are our parents? They give you those stories, but there was no time ready to dwell into those details. Then I pressed out to Soviet Union, where I went for further training. I went to Cuba. I met with my sister in Cuba. No, actually, coming back from Soviet Union, then I was sent to Cuba with my sister. And when I arrived in Cuba, actually my brother was there. We were reliving them. We were going back to Angola. So we come from that background of more caring for the community, We grew up like that. There's nothing else that we know other than serving the community. We always do different things. My sister is in the army. My brother is in the Metropolis, now working with NPA, seconded there. I worked with them as well at NPA. We did exhumations, so I did a lot of things, more community-driven programs. I got tired of politics because of level of contestations and stuff like that. Because at some point I realized that actually I'm not a politician. As much as I care for people, it does not necessarily translate into politics. Then I refocused my energies doing different things in the community until one day I was asked to come to the center. Well, I've been part of the center from a distance. I'll help them, they'll call me when they need things. I'll intervene where I intervene, I'll run to the municipality wherever they need help. But at some point they called me to say, we have problems. There were serious problems with management and the board at the time, and the center was dysfunctional. So there was basically a fight between the members of the center who are disabled and the board and management. So we came in, became the interim chairperson of the committee to rebuild the institution. I fell ill, I was hospitalized during the COVID period. And there was a meeting that was convened, social development was part of it. And in that meeting, they had to reconstitute the committee. And the members who are disabled said, no, we want Brian back here. and I was at home. I was ill, so I was elected unopposed, and I was not present in the meeting. I came in here and for a brief, then we continued. We were given 3 months, so that was my second batch. The first 3 months we didn't complete it, then they brought us back. Then we given 3 months to organize a center and call a meeting, the AGM, so that we can elect former structure. So within the 3 months, we did quite a lot of work. Then the board disappeared with the computers, all the information was nothing. We started from zero to rebuild what we could recover and just give at least a bit of context to the situation. So called the AGM. I was not standing. I told them, guys, I've done my part. Here's my report. After presenting the report, went for elections. They nominated me. I declined. I said, no, I'm not gonna stand. I said, no, you can't give us a report and solutions, and you're not there to implement them. So finally, I accepted. Because I had other things that I was busy with. But I continued actually accepting the nomination. I was elected, and yeah, this is the second year. 1 more year to go because it's a 3-year window. Yeah.
So I've been here a couple of times, and every time I come here, I see that you're doing something new. But for those people that are watching us that don't know what TSHAD stands for, please explain to them what the name is and where it comes from. And what it represents.
Let me start by saying this center was started by a gentleman called Manas Malinga. He was blind. So he rallied a few people that he knew, and they fought for the land. So they got the land from the municipality, and I think it's 1.4 hectares. And they started working on the land. They mobilized resources, they built. The center is actually, I think it's about 8 million rands, the value of the center. Should be around 8 million rands or 10. But we owe nobody. We're only paying our municipal services and stuff like that. We don't owe anybody. We've not put this thing, we've never mortgage anything. So it's actually a community program that continues to look after people with disability. Now, in terms of disability, it cuts across. People that we don't accommodate are people that have mental challenges because we don't have the facilities and the capacity to do that. But all other people from autism or amputations, those who were born with disability, all of them are here. So we have about 112 people that are here. Actually, it's 4 or 6 more people that have joined lately, so our numbers have slightly increased. This center was started in 1993. And people have been working throughout. So he has been standing since 1993.
And the TSHAD, what does it stand for?
Actually, is a short name that comes from Tembisa Self-Help Association of the Disabled. So we call it TSHAD so that it's easy, because we call it the whole of it becomes a problem.
Yeah, no, it's actually quite a catchy name, and what is very interesting about the name is that it's the self-help part. So yeah. What you are doing here is that you are basically teaching people with, I call it different abilities and not disabilities. So you are basically accommodating people that have different abilities, and they are trained here and they are housed here in the sense of they get food. Tell me a bit more about what you do with all these people.
Yeah, actually, this place is classified as a project, right? But what we do is that we have people starting work at 8 in the morning, and they leave at 4. We provide breakfast, we provide lunch for them from the center. So we have our kitchen, and we have different projects or programs within the center. One of them is the garden, which is split into 2. That is your nursery and your garden, where we plant different produce. Then what happens then that we some of the produce goes into the kitchen. We also run, there's a church not far from us, they run a soup kitchen. We contribute vegetables there, or any other thing, because our people also eat there on every Monday. So we make a contribution. But also when we get supplies from other parties, we've been supplying about 3 or 4 other NGOs that we're sharing food with them. And what we'll do then, we will take the vegetables. Some of the vegetables we'll sell them. We supply Spar. We sell green pepper, tomato, chimolia, spinach. It depends really on the season as well. But that's where we take the bulk of our stuff. But we also have members of the community who come in here and buy from us. So that's how it works. And we have a nursery where we produce our own plants. Many of them are for indoors and outdoors. They go into for your landscaping. So you choose where you want to use them. So we sell those things. We're helped by Dr. Tlakola, who came with the expertise. So we actually running it ourselves. So even the seedlings we produce for ourselves. People are doing food gardening, different programs. Even during Mandela Day, people come here, they order seeds with seedlings. We'll produce and actually put them aside. We have a program with this high school here. It's called Gezani. They have a food garden. We're working with them. We help them to set up that garden. We have other people who are coming as well to say, look, help us with the food garden. So that's what we do. There are other small organizations that work with us. We even send our people to come in to go and assist them. Then we have the wheelchair repair. That's where we actually collect scrap and rebuild the wheelchairs. Some come from hospitals or clinics. Some members of the community come here and borrow them. We charge them a small fee, and then they return them. So it's not really a profit-making component, but it's purely to support our members, because the spares are not readily available. So that's what we do. Then we have the recycling. The recycling, we collect different material, we sort. It depends on the demand as well. Sometimes you collect bottles, find that there's no demand. You have to keep the stock until the opportunity opens up. We can actually sell. Yeah, basically that's what we do.
Okay, thank you, Brian. I think that was...
Oh yeah, just one other thing.
Yes.
We have two classes. One is for autism. We teach them different things, but now we've moved them to different projects so that they can learn to do things for themselves, so that we give them practical skills than keeping them in a class. You've asked your earlier question as to what is it that we do here. We really look after people with disability. We've picked up, over time that they are more happy to be here than to be at home, because our communities or our families are not really trained to handle people with disability. Yes, we love them, we live with them, but we're not equipped to deal with them. Because sometimes if you're not well equipped, you can even become so impatient with them, get irritated because they demand a lot of work. But it's how we see them. We see them as people who are able to do things for themselves, instead of saying, what is it that we need to do for them to actually help them do other things. So that mindset needs to change. It's what we're looking at now. This year we're looking at organizing classes with social development, where we invite parents, we give them the skills, but also bring Department of Health, who have agreed that will partner us on that. So that we also deal with issues of health, because there are specific issues. There's autism, but it's triggered by many other things. So people need to get an understanding so that they can be able to support people with disability.
I think it's absolutely fantastic work that you're doing. So the entire centre are people that have some form of disability. So you have the whole spectrum. You have blind people. I believe that the person that's sort of in charge of the recycling is blind. So we need to have a discussion with him at some stage as well, have a little interview with him so that we can hear his experiences, because he was telling me last time I visited you how he feels the different waste and how he can tell what the waste is. But Brian, if there's something that you would like for the people out there, a message that you would like for them to send to them and to say to them, come and visit us, this is where we are, this is where we at, where can we contact you, and what would the message be for people that would like to assist you?
Yeah, maybe let me start by saying that we do get a lot of people who come here, who visit, willing to help us, but there's no commitment. That's what is worrying us, because even our people, when they receive different people, it creates an expectation. And we tend not to realize some of the things that we're being promised. But the reality of the matter is that we need to begin to understand that people with disabilities have rights as well, right? They are normal human beings. How we see them is a different matter. It's not how they feel about themselves. Because I've seen that many of the people that have disability perform far better than people who don't have disability. Their level of commitment, that they come here and do their work without complaining, without any salary, without fail, they are always here. They love and protect this center. They fight for this center. So just to show that this center gets vandalized by people who come from outside, who don't have disability, who don't have the same sense of appreciation. These guys, they see this for themselves as a vehicle that they'll use to empower themselves, whilst other people then don't see that angle. So, but also, there's a level of sensitivity that whenever there's a problem, they want it to resolve today, not tomorrow, right? Which for me is a very, very strong point. They don't go to sleep with issues. They get them resolved today. And when they're angry, understand they're angry, resolve it, and they go back to normal. So you don't have these issues carrying over, but those that claim to be able, they are struggling actually to function at that level, right? But in terms of where we are in Tembisa. We're just off Ndhlovu Drive, and our street is 484 Ndhlovu Street. Is in Esangweni section, so he's right in Tembisa. In terms of when I call us, you can call my number on 061 589 9411. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Brian. I think that was inspirational, and this will definitely not be the last visit that we do to this center, because I think it's very important that people out there actually know where they can direct their assistance and support, where it will be utilized for a very, very good cause. Thank you very much, Brian.
I appreciate it.
Thank you ever so much, Brian, for affording us the opportunity to come and visit you today. I truly appreciate the wonderful work that you are doing here at the TSHAD Center. And I hope that we have lots of people that take it to their hearts to come and assist you with this wonderful center. And we're also going to come and visit some more people individually. So for all of you there, this is the story of Brian, a very special man. So he's told us his story. So if you have any of these similar stories to share, please do so. Please remember to like, subscribe, share this with other people that would be interested, and then also hit the bell, and then I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to Brian's story.